Hello again. In this video we start the hair. Very difficult. No, I'm joking. It's not very difficult. It's a little bit long process. Just that you have to just take your time. It's not super difficult. Yeah, it's saving the project file, so it will be slow because now we have a lot of polygons, now we have pores, now we have a lot of things, and we have to consider this. So I will again solo the head. And we see it's a little bit alien-like, but her head is a little bit downish, so it's cool. We can, of course, make symmetry and just push it this a little bit like this, and just to fill. But I think it's okay. And for making the head, what I want to do is go ahead and go down in the lowest subdivision, and then start making some groups on the top of the head. These groups we'll use when we make the hair, just to be able to group it in different hair strands or clumps or whatever, yeah. So first, I'm always looking at the concept. So we need one group here, which will be the main strand that comes here in the eye area. I will just zoom my I will zoom this and just see it. So this strand will have its own group here, then beside it, it will be another group, then another group, and we don't have to be worried too much about those groups because we will have time to make this later. I mean, we can add more. We'll add more hair later in the process. So again, to make groups, yeah, the main thing, you have to mask an area and then Control W just to make a group. So let's try and go up another on the subdivisions, and it will be, I guess, easier, but let's see if it will make groups. Okay, making it so one group here, one group, oops, Control W, one group here, and yeah, the thing is, the more group you make, the more control you will have over the model, but the more time you will need to finish the grooming process afterwards. It will be yeah, very time consuming. But we don't care about that. We need the hair to look pretty, so we will make a lot of hair, especially in this front area, and we don't care too much about those things that we're missing here. There will be no hair there, or even if it's there is a hair, we will delete it later, because we need those clumps. These are the main things, the clumps. So we'll just make, so I'm masking basically, and Control W. This technique I haven't seen anywhere. I just figured this technique myself, and yeah, probably you will see it for the first time here. But basically this is the technique of making the groups. The other things are the same as many other people are doing them, you know. But I'm combining a lot of things that I've seen in a lot of different tutorials, because even we teachers, we have watched a lot of tutorials before we can start teaching ourselves. So we have watched a lot of tutorials, then make a lot of practice, and then and only then you can start teaching, because before that you just, why? How can you teach without knowing? It's not good. So basically making those. In the back we can make them a little bit bigger. It's not a bad idea, because yeah, the back is not that important first, and yeah, that's basically it, because we don't need that much detail on the strands in the back, and yeah, we can deal with a lot less detail here. So basically this will be it for our hair. So I will just make it like this, and see where am I mistaking. And here we don't need this, we don't need also this. Let's see. Okay, make this group visible. Then again, those little things, which are those green things, I think we have to get rid of them, and we can just group visible here, and we will get rid of them. So now what I want to do is select all these groups. This will be our hair, this is our scalp area, and if you see holes, yeah, they could be filled, especially those holes in the bottom, because every piece of hair will fall down and they'll be covered. The main problem will be here, probably in this area, because the hairs, as the concept goes, will go from there to this direction and from there to this direction. So in the middle, maybe we'll have some issues, but let's think about this later. So first, what we want to do is mask this, and then we go to fiber mesh. Okay, I will say a few things about the fiber mesh now. Let's go to it. Fiber mesh. So in order to start with the fiber mesh, you need a preview and open modifiers, of course, and this will be the area where we will just make our fiber mesh. First, I want to render it to see how it looks like, and the render of fiber mesh is a little bit slow most of the time, because fiber mesh is a lot of geometry, and every piece of geometry has to make shadow on the other pieces and stuff, and it's a little bit difficult. So base will be maybe a little bit brighter, but some kind of a brownish color here, and the tip should be a little bit brighter, even more brighter, and like this. Let's render again, and we will wait. Until we wait, I will tell you more about these things. Max fibers is the modifier that will choose how many fibers you will have. So I will show you, we can have a lot less, we can have a little bit more. These kind of fibers are okay, they are not bad. The length of the fibers, we are not so much concerned about this length, because we can deal with it later, but let's make it a little bit bigger. And the gravity, we can make it more gravitational, but the main thing we have to do is the segments. If we leave the segments to be 3, you can see here in this area the hair will look like this. It's not a good idea. We have to make them at least like 20 is good, 20 is nice, and you can see that the gravity is now doing its work, and it's not bad, but let's dial it down a little bit. We don't need it too much gravity. And the hair, the longness of the hair is it's pretty okay. We will fix it later if we need. Max fibers, we can dial it down a little bit. We don't need that much fibers, it will be a little bit of overkill, but we need coverage. So the coverage, what is making the fibers thicker, just that, you can see, thicker. So we need maybe like 41, let's see, and we need to render in this stage, because here is what we decide our fibers, how they look like. Later we won't be able to change too much except for the length and the form, but the thickness is here. We have to decide the thickness. The color we can change afterwards, so most of the things we can change, but except for the thickness and the segments. The segments should be at least 20. The profile should be 1, because if you make it something different than 1, you will have a lot of trouble. Yeah. The other thing, let's go and find out hair 2 material. The hair 2 material is one of the most universal materials for the hair here in ZBrush. So with it, we can preview it, and it will look more like real hair, probably. Let's see the render. Okay, it looks pretty much okay, but I think it's a little bit thicker So we can dial down the coverage for like around 30. And let's see it again. I'm rendering. This is BPR render, so we can just press BPR and it will be the same. Let's render it and see how it looks like. So length, I'm not sure I want to change this too much. This is good. We can change it on the fly. I will show you how, of course, when we accept this hair. But for now we have to just make sure our hair looks kind of realistic. And yeah, let's see, maybe a little bit less coverage to be like maybe 20. 20, probably it will be the best. We'll see. So this twist or revolve or slim or other things, probably you want, you will mess with them, you can check them out, you can just move them, but for now we need only length, max fibers, coverage, important, and probably the color. We can mess with it also. It's not a problem. But let's see. Yeah, kinda good. Maybe a little bit thinner, I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, let's leave it like this. Let's for now. Maybe make it like coverage the like 15 and just leave it without anything and accept. Here it will ask us if you want the fast preview rendering to be on. Yes, you always want the fast preview because it will be faster to work with the fast preview. And you can see that we have a lot of groups here, which is the main reason that we have done that, to have a lot of groups. So first what we want to do, it's pretty important, but let's check out our face. Where is our face? Here. Okay, our face is here. We can go to our hair, apply the hair material, and then go back to this. No. We go back to the head and just make sure it has some subdivisions just to look fine. So first we select our hair and we will start making it like rolls. We will make every piece of group with BG. I'm pressing BG and then I'll press, let me see which brush it was, I rarely use it, Groom hairball. So what we'll do now is go ahead and make every piece of hair here just a ball, a regular ball. And we can, of course, we will need here, very important, we'll open this, close whatever is here, go to brush and just press this. So the brush, come on brush, go. Okay, it won't go, so I will drag it. Here, we can go to fiber mesh, and we will go to fiber mesh for different reasons, but this will not be now. We'll go first to auto masking. It's pretty good. We can go and dial this up to 100, so it will mask by polygroup. So now, if I touch one polygroup, it will work only with this polygroup, you know, not touching others. So I can easily make these clumps of hair whatever I want. I don't know if this is better, but yeah, we can try this or just make it like this. And the hair is fairly short, so it's easy to make clumps of it. The clumps we are making not because we want her to look like a house lady, like a housewife, but this will be easier for us to work with other hairs, and the other hairs won't stand in our way, and we will know which hair we already made and which we have to make later. So make sure that every piece, every strand of hair is in the clump. It won't interfere this way with the others, the other clumps. So we have a lot of groups, like you can see, that we have made. And it will take a lot of time to make this hair. Probably hour and a half, 2 hours. It depends how good we want it to be, how perfect. And yeah, don't think that we can make it perfect here in ZBrush. The hair is pretty difficult to make in CG, in computer graphics. I mean, even in some very good programs that are only for hair, like Hair Farm or other plugins that are for some software, some 3D software, the hair is most of the time it takes a lot of time to make something that looks pretty much real, but not exactly. Most of the time still they cannot make it look super real. They just make it look very good. And ZBrush hair is not of this quality, not this quality of software. So first I wanna get rid of the clay hair and just have this. And it looks good. Let's make a render. I want to see it. No, let's press escape. I want to press escape, okay? And then let's render it without the polyframe, because with polyframe it could make something different, but she looks pretty much okay like this, in my opinion. Of course, we will start making the hair in just a moment, but let's just see. I'm curious how she will look with these rolls on her head. She's very cute. Alright. We'll have some problems here. I'm thinking that we'll have, but we will make another layer of hair above this, but it will be later. So first we'll get this one, pretty good. And if we use the grooming brushes, which we get by pressing B and then G, grooming brushes, all of those, we can use some of them, but groom lengthen, for example, we will use, but we have to figure something else. So groom lengthen, we're using it here now, and it's making the hair longer, like this, and it's pretty good, but we don't need it that long. So let's press Ctrl Z, and first the main brush that we will use is surprise the move brush. So move brush, when we preserve length here, it automatically become a very good groom brush, and we can use it as a groom brush. So I'm just grooming with the move brush. I will move it here, move it like this, and you notice how when I'm moving this, it's getting away from the surface. So we'll just dial down to 0, and now when we move it, it will go wherever we want it to go, and we can make our hair look good, because otherwise it's doing something very strange things, you know. So BG, I'm using a groom lengthen brush also, so I can make a length a little bit longer, this one, and yeah, this is a good start here. Of course we can make use of the pinch brush also, pinch, and I think we have a pretty decent thing here. We can make sure that it comes out a little bit more, and if we want to make it thicker from the side, we can go to BG and groom blower and just make it blow it out a little bit, just a little bit, okay. But it's blowing it out on the sides also, so yeah, we can also smooth, but our smooth brush is now the brush that we used for the pores, so we can go ahead and find our real smooth brush, which is here, and now it will be it. So smooth, yeah, smooth is good. Sometimes we smooth, but not too much. Don't smooth too much. It's a little bit tricky. So it looks pretty good, although we have some strands here. Let's try with the Groom Lantern brush to lengthen them. We don't need them to be there. We need every piece of strand of this here to be almost the same length. And yeah, this has to be taken care of. We need the strands to be almost the same length, otherwise it will look a little bit strange. So yeah, smooth here, then with the move brush, and as you can see, it's a pretty slow process. Of course, we will speed this up, but for the first strands, which are the most important now here in the front, we will just need it to be Groom Lantern here, if we want to make it go a little bit further. And let's render it, and then we'll see you in the next video. Let's just first see how it looks for now. It looks decent, so see you in the next one.